And I was working quite a nice restaurant in Santa Monica, and Chris Martin came in with Gwyneth Paltrow and her mother. I was there in a white shirt and a black tie, opening wine and trying not to spill it on the white linen. And to his credit, he said, "Hey, like, what are you doing here?" He was absolutely baffled. I was like, "Oh, you work in a restaurant, mate. What's it fucking look like?" It's like, trying to find fame and fortune. You want to give me a support gig? I didn't ask him that.
Welcome. We are Neil,
Luke and Dave.
340-somethings reminiscing on the runners and riders of 90s guitar music.
We look at the bands who soundtracked our youth on both sides of the pond and interview some of our heroes from the bands that defined a generation.
You'll hear about the good, the bad and the ugly of 90s guitar music.
This podcast is Stupid and Contagious. Episode 112 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. What the?
Oh, you haven't done that for a while. All right.
Nah.
I liked it. That's good.
Well, no one responded.
I'm not going to
Suppose
repeat
I
it,
don't
are
like
we?
it.
I like it when you do it.
Yeah, but then you've got to do the it's a call and response, isn't it? That's the whole point of the advert.
Yeah, I know. No one wants to respond, but we like it when you do it. Don't worry. Around the world, people will be responding to you.
Dave said he doesn't.
As they're listening.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping people on the other end, they're
will.
doing it all.
They'll be walking their dog, sitting on the tube, just like,
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Probably they're listening like to this podcast on their earphones, and they respond. They say they're at the gym or whatever, and then someone else thinks they're talking to them, and they respond, and it's going to be like all around the office and the gym and the train carriage. Yeah, man, it's going to be great.
This week we're talking to Alex Troop from Crashland, so that's a really good interview. Actually, enjoyed that one. So that's coming up. But before we do that, let's bore everyone with what we've been doing this last week. I've been ill. I don't like to
that's
when I'm ill.
The most boring answer you can give, isn't it? Fucking hell.
I don't like to go on about it when I'm ill, so I'm just not going to say anything.
Fucking, he always does.
I know he does. And he's a hypochondriac. Yeah.
At least make it an interesting illness. Don't tell us it's just
it was probably COVID. No one does a test anymore, do they? Probably was. Probably spread it around the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just going around.
Yeah. Well, I had it recently. Right?
Although it doesn't exist. Doesn't exist though, does it? I haven't taken any paracetamol because of Trump's advice.
They're very dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've stayed off of those.
Good on you. Listen to it. He knows what he's talking about.
But men can still have it. It's just women that can't have paracetamol.
Just women that have to suffer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
They have to go without
take some then.
painkillers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Well, I'll take some then.
Yeah. You're all right.
Apart from that, just been working. That's it, really. I think.
No music
I
news.
think that is it. Can't think of any. Music news. Can't think of any. That's bad, isn't it?
Yeah. You're supposed to be a music podcast guy. You should be listening to music.
Yeah. Give me something that I can talk about.
I don't know. What you've been listening to.
I don't know. I haven't been listening to any. That's the problem.
There you go. Don't lie. You got to keep it authentic, man. You can't just lie to the listeners and the viewers if you haven't.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, let's not make it up. I've just been useless. I have listened to music. But I was thinking this the other day. I've had the same sort of stuff on my. I still use iTunes, so I've had the same stuff on that for age. I haven't really downloaded any new stuff for a long time, so I should probably do that. But then I haven't got Spotify either. I haven't got the paid Spotify, so I don't listen to it. I don't use that either. So I've just got the iTunes really.
Why don't you download a load of your old CDs into your iTunes and have some new, even if it's old stuff, but new stuff for you on rotation? Yeah.
That's what I should do, yeah.
How do you
import
do
a load
that,
of CDs on. You just import the CD on it. I do it
Who's
all the
got a
time. Well, I used
CD
to.
player?
I've got like a
I've got
little
rid of the
external
cases.
DVD stroke CD player, which I just plug into my computer and I can just.
Yeah, maybe I
load
should
it
do
up.
that.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
should
got
do
one
that.
of those.
Huh.
Yeah,
Good.
I need to do something. I need to get some new music onto there.
Yeah,
It's
even
just
if
the
it's
same
new
stuff.
old music, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, and I might have to get Spotify, like I said last week, because I do want to listen to your mixtapes and that. It's difficult for me because I can't.
On the go. You can't do it on the go.
A shit version of it.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the paid version. I just,
Don't you?
You know? No.
Oh, right. Well, maybe
I only listen
it
to it on my laptop when I've got internet. I don't listen to it like on the go.
Oh, right. Well, maybe I'll just carry on that.
Yeah, you're fine.
That, then.
Yeah.
Then aren't we doing? Aren't we? We're not paying people anything.
We're not.
No.
No, but advertisers are paying them on behalf of us because we listen to their adverts.
Right.
And we can't skip them, so we're
helping bands.
Yeah.
By not using Spotify, but using it.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, because the advertisers pay the money.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Brilliant. What about you? What have you been up to? What have you been listening to?
I picked up the latest XYZ, I guess, because they're American record. It's an interesting thing. So
XYZ.
XYZ,
That's
all
easy,
right.
you bastard.
It's one of the projects of Ian Svenonius, and this latest record it's called Place of Classics, and the sleeves are just like old record sleeves.
What do you mean?
And they're just like the old record sleeve.
Yeah, what do you mean? I don't know what that means. What's the difference between an old and a new record sleeve?
It's like another band's record sleeve from whatever.
Okay, right. A classic record sleeve.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, so you don't know what you're going to get. So like I ordered mine through Tower Records and picked it up. I was hoping for like the one on the picture, I'd the Doors album or the Rolling Stones or whatever. Mine was 10 years after. Do you know them? 10 years after? Kind of UK, kind of rock, like classic rock band. So I was a bit disappointed.
I don't understand this at all. What's going on?
So I'm confused. Is it an XYZ record?
Yeah.
And they just send it in an old used record sleeve?
Yeah. And they've got like a sticker on the front. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like 500 copies they made of it. So they had to source 500 old sleeves, I guess. Right.
Yeah.
That's and it's all covers. Well, it's not. It's like complete reworkings of like classic songs. It's great. It's really good. But I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah, I like that.
But if they had to source that old record, why couldn't they just include the record too? What's happened to that? Just a naked record somewhere?
Well, it happens all the time, right? That records they go missing or whatever. There's like a website. I can't remember the name of it. Where you can match the record to the sleeve if you've got one but not the other, and this kind of thing.
Luke's never lost a record in his life. Look, he's still every record he immediately goes back into that.
I've given away one record, and I've sold a load.
Have you still got them in those plastic covers that you're obsessed with?
I have, and I've got some spare covers in the corner over there.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like the way you look after your vinyl. I think it's quite endearing.
Got to be done, man. Got to be done. Yeah.
Is it in alphabetical order? How do you order it?
He's got special sections and everything.
It's in genre, and then within genre, it's in alphabetical.
And the genres, are they in alphabetical order?
No, they're not. They flow into each other in terms of
How
music.
do you know hang on, how do you know which genres where on that? They're not labelled.
Well, it only makes sense in my head. So right. I won't go through it 'cause it takes too long. But basically, it starts in the top left with like 50s, 60s.
All right, that's good. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Get me the These Animal record and explain where the genre and record is.
These Animal Men?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
how
it's
quick
in my
can
90s.
you look up a record?
Yeah,
I can get These Animal Men very quickly. It's down here.
How? What's down there?
How did you know it was there?
Yeah, what's down there? Tell us. You're not explaining it. Yeah, but 90s, what's down there?
90s guitar music in alphabetical order.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right. Bottom left,
but it's
90s.
Very subjective. Music. So go, 56. Then into like 70s rock, then into 70s punk, then into 80s like hardcore punk, and then into like Riot Girl and stuff. It goes into metal, into...
Hang on, we're wasting a wang up here. This could be a whole wang.
All right.
Yeah, good.
I won't go into it. Yeah, I think it's like noise and noise rock, and then post rock and all of that. So in my head, it makes sense. You know,
is everything there behind you, or have you got other shelves?
Upstairs, there's another like 500 or so records. It's mostly like 2000s till now, and like dance and all of that.
Where's Onka's Big Mocker in that collection?
Onka's Big Mocker. Now you see, that's in The Office, because I mean I listen to it a lot, so it's in The Office.
Yeah.
It's always being played. It's in The Office at the moment. Yeah.
Fair enough. Anything else in Japan?
Just one. No, but I was just before I was just waiting for you to send me the link to start this. I was just reading a book as I usually do. It's just like a work thing. It's about social psychology. It's about the social psychology of motivation. And I just read this sentence. They reckon that we humans, a half of human thought qualifies as daydreaming.
At least.
So we're daydreaming for half of our lives. That's mad, right?
At least, man. I'm
reckon?
daydreaming now.
Anything. So basically, a daydream is just anything that you don't say out loud, isn't it?
No, I guess when you're not like focused on on whatever the task at hand, like Dave fucking should be. I don't know,
reckon
man.
a daydream includes mental pictures.
Yeah. This is a.
Right.
This chapter's about vision, basically, like visioning and envisioning things and future and stuff, like about motivation. But that's mad, right? One of the most common human behaviours there is. Huh. Anyway, it just blew my mind, so I just thought I'd talk about it.
One thing I did forget to mention, last week's guest, Lungleg, they said, because, we were talking about women's representation in music festivals and stuff. Sent me an interesting article that basically talks about that. I think hang on, let me just get it quickly. So 63% of acts booked at major UK festivals are all male, report finds.
Oh, wow. That's wow. That's not good.
So,
that's a lot.
It's quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what percentage
2/3
are all female? It's probably
there you go.
much less
Not
than
many.
what's
less
left.
Less than that. What's left, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we're looking at about under 20% at least, probably.
Yeah.
At most.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, interesting. Oh, thanks for sending that. Oh, send that on to
Yeah,
me.
no,
I'd like
they
to read
said-
that.
Yeah, they said they enjoyed coming on, so I said thanks. And all that.
Great.
And then they just said,
Oh, they were brilliant.
yeah, it was good. But it still is good. So if you haven't listened to it yet, go and have a listen. It's a good episode. They're all good episodes. Go listen to them all. If you haven't listened to them all, go and listen to them
And if you
all.
have, listen again.
Well, that brings
And
me
again.
on to mine.
Go on.
Because I've
Go on.
now moved. Well, the app still exists on that old app.
Fucking
it's-
Yeah.
the app's
but
old
now
hat, mate.
Yeah, if you go to allgiggly.com/stupid app.
Hey, you haven't paid your
It's all there
sponsorship yet.
Well,
So
You
is
can't
that's a
start
website or an
advertising
app?
your
it's a website, but of course it works fine
Hang
on
on.
any.
trying to
On
squeeze
any
his
phone.
business into our podcast.
Let him. Let
Yeah,
him.
all right.
Go on. Allow it.
I'm
But
gonna.
it's all intertwined. You know, we wouldn't have All Giggly if it weren't for the podcast.
You're right. So
'Cause I
we've
didn't have
all got
anything
a
to
share
do.
in it. We've all
There
got a
you go.
share.
In a
it.
way, yeah, in a
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. Good.
Say it again, Dave, so people can try it. allgiggly.com/stupid
Stupid app. Stupid app, yeah.
Give
Go
that
and try it out.
Give that a go later.
It's
So
bloody
there,
good.
it's just the
actually.
same
Dave showed
simple
me
thing.
a
All the episodes, all the playlists, all the
Brilliant.
videos.
Can they
Yeah.
test out the actual software by going there as well, or just look at the app?
Well, I'm not opening up the ability to create your own app
Right.
yet. It's not
We
ready.
might be able to at some point, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's exciting. This is this could change the world. So
Could. Yeah.
Did you
good.
take your son to university? Has that happened?
well, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Is he
It's
gone?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
cry
man.
with her tears?
I didn't. I'm not a teary person normally, but I did feel quite sad on the way back.
Of course.
Was it just you driving back?
No, Victoria as well. But then he
What music
phoned
did you
about
have
an
on?
hour later asking where his tea towels were. And somehow that cheered me up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where
I
were
like
they?
that. Yeah. Where
In
were
a
they?
box.
Yeah.
In a box that he hadn't looked in.
Yeah.
Was it labelled kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
have
So
you-
how does the house feel with one less person in it?
Yeah, quiet.
I was going to say, at least
I was
you get the
just gonna say-
masturbatorium back to yourself.
Yeah. You can make it into one big one, can't you?
I know
Yeah,
you had to. I know you
whatever.
said you were booking slots and stuff with him before, so it's good you get it all to yourself now. You don't have to book it in.
How's his first week been? He's probably just been getting off his knocking, hasn't he?
Think so.
Yeah.
Probably.
He was last seen on WhatsApp at 4 a.m. this morning.
4 a.m., eh?
That's
Good on
my
him.
way of spying on him. To see his
Yeah.
WhatsApp status.
Right, okay. When he was last live, or whatever it says.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
man.
4 a.m.
Great.
That's a good innings. Good lad. Well, no, keep us updated. We want to know about his uni. Give us a uni update every week if you can.
I'm not going to start doing
Don't do that.
that. Be worse than the Berwick updates.
Oh, yeah,
If
we haven't had
possible.
one.
Something happened.
Is it? All
The
right.
horses
So
are
is that
back,
it?
the fuckers.
Oh, there we
Are
go.
they?
Four
Go
of them
on.
munching away down the end of the garden this morning.
On your
Oh,
nose.
I was
man.
livid.
Were they?
Fuck off, man, you fucking idiots.
Just answer the question.
How
yes
could
or
four
no?
horses be doing that? It's not
Why can't
possible.
you give a simple yes or no answer?
I'll take that as a yes then. So horses are back. What are you going to do? Punch them?
Yeah,
Nothing. I'm scared of them. I can't do anything.
smoke them out.
They don't have a problem with smoke at all.
Mm.
They just like
Will do
it.
if you smoke them out.
Oh, let them be horses, man. Let them be free. That's fine. Let them munch.
Well, I am. Got no choice.
I know. Yeah.
You've got loads of apples in your garden. Let them munch on those. They like those. don't
No, I tell you what. This is a serious warning to listeners. Never give a horse an apple. It's like giving crack to a human. They go berserk.
Do you use it, attach an apple to the end of your knob, stick it out the fence?
Now, honestly, I don't think listeners are going to like your little knob comments.
I think 30% will and 70% won't.
Should we get into this week's episode? I think we probably should.
We should.
Crashland. Should we do this?
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
Okay, so if you are watching this, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel and get involved in the comments. If you're listening, rate, review, please share it with your friends. If we post anything on Facebook, please share all that with your friends or share it on your pages so that other people can find the podcast. The Royal Whitby's is still sponsoring this, so they're sponsoring this
Oh,
week's
wow.
podcast as well. So what do we do? Just do the whole thing again? I don't know if we
Well,
could
let's
do funny
let's
2
remind
weeks in a
people.
row.
So if you missed it last week, they are a event company and a hotel in Whitby, and they put on indie bands that we love and have been on the show, including
Yeah.
Neil.
Well, so on the 4th of October,
Next
or
Saturday,
the arrival,
when this comes
arrival
out.
on
Yeah.
the 4th of October.
Right.
So I don't know if the gig's on the 4th of October.
Okay.
Cud are playing. It's not just Cud though, is it?
Those Whitby guy, they wouldn't give you just one. Yeah. It's also
Ultrasound, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Ultrasound, previous guest. Oh, and what a fucking noise they would make. It'd be brilliant.
yeah, and Miles Hunt.
And
Miles Hunt
as
and
well.
Ultrasound and Cud and 2 other bands, like a spin-off from Cud. Can't remember what they're called. And a local band as well. So 5 bands, and you get to stay at that hotel. It's
And hang
a
out
lovely
with
hotel.
other nice, like-minded people. It'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be good. Be good. And then on the 18th of October, got Dan and John from the Levelers. That'd be a good one.
Oh man, but those songs are just so strong, right? It doesn't matter what form they're in; they're just fucking incredible.
I don't know if they're
songs,
doing
right?
Levelers songs or not.
huh?
I'm not sure. But
Well,
Surely
you know,
they would.
You'd think they would do.
like I said, saw the Levelers recently, and they're all brilliant musicians. So you're in for a treat, whatever. Then on the 7th to 8th of November, you got the Ska and Mod Weekender. You like a bit of
Yeah.
ska.
Can you do the
I
skank
can't.
dancing?
I do like it though. I do like watching a skank. I can't do it
You should
myself.
practice.
Can you do it?
I don't know. I guess, yeah. Maybe.
It's good.
Well, I'm
I
not
do
gonna.
like it. I like it. I do like it watching a skank. A good old skank off. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
I guess.
Dave.
I guess they'll have a bit of
Can you
Northern
skank?
Soul as well.
No, I can't.
Northern Soul. I like all that dancing in the talcum powder. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. So there'll be some of that, I'm sure.
sure.
But I do like. I used to film that ska festival, didn't I? I do like ska music. I've spoken about it before, but I don't know how the mod and ska thing came together. But it's a good pairing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
So So that'll be good. You can go to that. You got the Krampus thing, the 5th to the 7th of December. The devil man from one of those northern countries. Krampus. Yeah. 9 Inch Nails tribute band and loads of other goth rock. That'd be good.
Wasn't there a TerraVision special deal?
Yeah, the Merry Christmas, you mean?
That's the Merry Christmas, Dave.
Christmas.
Christmas.
It's 199 quid. VIP ticket.
T-shirt.
TerraVision t-shirt per person. A signed album and a standard double room. 199 quid. I genuinely think that's a really good deal for a night away.
Do you get breakfast?
Doesn't say. Wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, but
I think it would be for me. I don't know.
Oh, really? You don't get your own fucking breakfast.
Still quite a good deal without breakfast, but I reckon they probably include breakfast.
Again, you can't make we can't make these promises.
He did say reckon. He didn't say definitely.
Yeah. All right. Don't want to give people the wrong impression.
And then next year you got the Whitby Darts Open. That's not till July. You can already book your room for that.
Brilliant.
So big old thing, darts now, isn't it? Back, isn't it? Took a bit of a lull in the 90s, and it's back now. On the 2000s, I guess it took a bit of a dip.
Guess you need a star, right? So you got Luke Littler. He kind of rejuvenated, didn't he? A bit of star power. You know?
You had that. What's his name? Phil Taylor. Phil the Power.
Yeah.
Taylor. Okay. And there's been a few in the last.
There's another Luke, isn't there? Aren't the 1 and 2 in the world both called Luke?
I think you're right, Luke.
Yeah, maybe. Huh.
Yeah, I think you're right. There you go.
It's not a common name. Don't get too many Lukes.
Are you good at darts? Yeah. Maybe it's just a name. Anyone called Luke's good at darts.
No, I'm not.
Oh, that's that theory.
Crushed. I am still watching a lot of Bullseye, though.
Well, that'll do.
I watched 2 episodes this week.
There you go. So if you're Luke, right. if you're called Luke, there must be like an affinity with darts somewhere.
There's got to be a connection, yeah.
There we go. Royal Whitby Events. Thank you so much for sponsoring this week's podcast. So tell us a bit about them. I just want to say something about Crashland before we start.
Go on, and you say it.
I was having a listen earlier. Just think they're a really amazing band.
I thought you'd like them.
Yeah,
I liked them as well.
Album.
It's really good, right?
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
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 I mean, I missed them
into it, but yeah.
Did you listen to him back? Did you listen to him back then?
I must have heard a song or something
I knew
back in the day, but
I knew that hit.
Album's incredible.
That second song on the album, but that's it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to tell you who sang it.
It's almost, you listen to that album and, we'll hear the story, but you almost think, why aren't they fucking huge?
There you go. That could have been, right?
Into that.
Let's get into it. Okay.
All right, so tell us a bit about Crashland.
Okay, so I don't go too much because he does give quite a lot of details. So basically, they formed in the mid-90s in Bristol. They're from Wales. Well, he's from Wales, and the drummer.
Dave's half Welsh.
In Wales. I know he is. Half Welsh, half Swedish. But they relocated to Bristol to do the band. So basically, 3-piece. Alex today is today's guest. His childhood friend, Mark Charles on drums. And a bassist called Martin, who they recruited through a Melody Maker advert. I'll hear about it in the interview. But basically, started playing gigs, started getting attention from the music press and stuff like that. Put out a single in 1998, New Perfume. And began building up steam, basically. Viewed as ones to watch. By The Enemy, I think, and maybe the Melody Maker as well. Second single, an EP, Standard Love Affair in 99. A third single, Modern Animal, which is maybe what Dave was talking about. It's kind of maybe the biggest song in 2000. And they ended up signing to Independiente, which is a branch of Sony, and putting out their only album, Glued, in 2000. And all the time he talks about it, but they were playing with loads and loads of different bands around that time, coming up at the same time as Coldplay, and basically seen as ones to watch alongside them. Yeah, he mentions bands like JJ72 who are around at the same time as well.
We'll have a chat about
another great band.
after,
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But basically, the album came out. It didn't do enough to satisfy the record label, and they were unceremoniously dropped by the label. They kind of reformed with a kind of Crashland Mark II. So the bassist left, and they got in two new people, a new bassist called a new guitarist, an extra guitarist called Nick, and a new bassist called Stuart Morgan. Now this guy Stuart Morgan, I just clicked on his name by accident on Discogs, and this guy, he's like a guitar tech. His like his whole life, so he's been guitar tech for basically all of U2's gigs since like the early 90s, basically. Also Sting, Killers, Sinead O'Connor, The Cause, Noel Gallagher and High Flying Birds. Stink. David Gray, your favourite Dave. Just like touring all over the world with these like mega stars, basically, as a guitar tech. Anyway, so that's the Mark II.
What is a guitar tech? Someone who he tunes it and changes the strings.
Yeah, does all of that. Yeah.
It's basically you don't when a big band plays live, you never see them on stage before the gig, because their techs are on there checking all their gear and stuff, so they can just walk on, pick up their guitar and go play
and be a rock star. Yeah. Anyway, so they went to America. He explains in the interview they went to America to try to kind of make it again. They did release an EP, devoted EP, but it didn't work out, basically. But today's hero, Alex, stayed in LA, formed a new band called Troop, just his surname, much more kind of straight ahead, kind of rock and roll American sound to it. But again, just like the songwriting which you see in Crashland it's still there, right? He's just got those kind of hooks and that melody to everything he does, it seems. So he's been there ever since. And they are releasing a album in a few months' time. It's basically unreleased demos from the Mark II version of the band, plus the devoted EP, which didn't get like a massive kind of distribution at the time. And he didn't mention it in the interview, but he told me after they're probably going to be playing a couple of acoustic gigs as well to coincide with promoting it. Him and Nick from the band, who I think stayed with him in LA, going to be playing maybe at the Rough Trade in Bristol in the UK. So maybe at Rough Trade in Bristol and somewhere else in Bristol. Maybe. It's not confirmed yet, but that should be happening. So that'd be cool. Yeah. And there we go. That's Crashland. I need to also say a big thanks to my friend Catherine, who set this interview up because she put me in touch with Alex. She worked for Sony, like a promotion thing for Sony at the time, which is why she knows Crashland. She's been kind of championing them for as long as I can remember. So thanks to Catherine for putting it all together. Basically,
he mentions her in the interview as well, doesn't he?
Yeah. She made it happen.
She's still in the industry. Is she still working?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay, so let's have a listen to the interview. We'll come back afterwards. Here's Alex Troop from Crashland. Enjoy.
All right, Alex, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. I know where you are, but can you tell the viewers and listeners where you're zooming in from?
I'm zooming in from Southern California.
Wow, with a Welsh accent. You've been out there a while, right?
LA. Yes, I've been out here. I came here. When did I come here? Was it 2003? I think.
Oh,
yeah, we had a sniff of the high life. Well, we had more than one sniff of the high life. We got Crashland Mark II, if you will. Well, Mark I, we got dropped and ceremoniously, like by the record company after some months after our album, and then we had a sort of another roll of the dice a little bit, and we came out for showcases and auditions and various things and we were flown out and wined and dined, and I got a taste for it then. So I even though at that point we didn't get another deal for an American label, which was very disappointing, and I sort of engineered things, came over and decided to stay, and so I got quite lucky and came out with Nick Fowler at the time. We tried hard to pick up another deal, didn't happen. But I decided to stay. For a long story short, it's a very long answer to the first opening question. So it can only go
There you
down
go.
from. It can only go up. It can only get better from here. Can't it? Let's
Here
face
we
it.
go. We'll get into
LA
that
was the answer.
later.
LA was the answer to your question.
Brilliant. Is it all palm trees and rollerblading along the beach and all that shit?
Yeah, well, it's all palm trees, and yeah, there's a fair amount of roller. It's sort of e-scootering now, and e-bikes
I
now,
bet
more
it
than
is.
e-bikes. Yeah,
Sure.
e-cigarettes, e-bikes, and
Yeah.
no e. So,
Everything.
but no e, no e's.
Yeah. It's it. Yeah, just your plain ease. It's the more fun one, right?
Well, yeah, well, from our
Let's
generation,
in
yes.
case we forget at the end, let's start with the new release that Crashland have got coming out. What can you tell us about it? It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
We
Let's go.
have a exciting vinyl release. Pre-order. You can pre-order the vinyl at £22.99 Great British pounds. It's on Bandcamp, Bristol Archive Records. It's an old friend of the band who actually released a after we got dropped by Independientes Sony. We put an EP by ourselves a long time ago called the Devoted EP in about no, that was probably 2001, 2002. And his name's Mike Darby. He runs Bristol Archive Records, and just a real music fan, especially obviously Bristolian, and has been running this label for Bristol bands for a long time, even though we are not ourselves from Bristol. We did form there, and we formed there and wrote most of our stuff in Bristol, so we have a very close allegiance with the lovely old town.
Well, my old stomping ground.
Is that right?
Which is why I know our mutual acquaintance Catherine. Because
I thought you were in London.
both at university at the same time.
Yeah. You go. Yeah, you have more of a London accent, but you went to uni.
Oh yeah, to university. Yeah. Not from.
That's another good. Yeah. So yeah, it's available on. If you go on Bandcamp, you can pre-order it. Digital album releases on December the 5th, 2025. Vinyl ships out on or around January 30th, 2026.
There you go. It's demos, stuff that weren't released at the time.
Yeah, it's one demo actually. It's we cut 5 songs in one day in a studio in Cardiff called Famous Studios. I think a bunch of the Holy Bible was cut there actually.
Oh wow.
Yeah, some of the demos that they didn't, I'm not sure they bettered them, so they went onto the record. You might know more about that than me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they cut quite a lot of the Holy Bible at Famous. We cut it with a Welsh producer called Richard Jackson. He used to be in a band called Novocaine a long time ago. Lovely guy, Rich. And Novocaine were a punk band. They're from a sort of the Newport punk scene as it was then. Probably, when was that? Mid-90s, maybe? Mid-late 90s. 60 Foot Dolls, Novocaine, a bunch of other bands. And I knew Jacko for a long time, and he used to do our live sound for Crashland. And then when we cut demos, he cut the demos. And this one, we were in pretty good shape. We've been playing a lot live, and I don't know, I feel like it's just encapsulates us in that moment. Maybe it's the swan song of the band, but it was a really good live session. Everything was cut live, including the vocals. I might have overdubbed a few guitars or the odd vocal, but I think it was all pretty much went down live. Did it in one day, and we blew the dust off them recently, and decided to put them out there. Mike Darby kindly offered to support the band and press the vinyl for us, which is a lovely gesture. And so here we are, lucky enough to put a record out almost 25 years after the event.
That's great. Well,
yeah,
the track from that, the stay track that's available on Bandcamp, sounds fucking amazing, man. It sounds like a surefire smash hit to me.
Well,
it's
never say
soaring
never.
choruses, and it's just great, right?
Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's it's got some hooks on it. Yeah, it's definitely a Crashland tune. We loved it. It would have been out. We would have cut it. Had we got another deal, and we came close. I think this session maybe was done for Well, we gave it to the BBC radio guy, the Welsh guy. I can't remember his name either.
Hugh Stevens.
He expressed some interest in us after we got dropped, and I think he might have helped facilitate some of the studio time, but he didn't pick up on us. I think his label was a bit underground and cool, which was understandable. We'd been dropped. You get the sort of kiss of death when you've been dropped. Musical leprosy. Nobody comes near you. So I don't think he wanted to put like a once signed band on a trendy, unsigned, cool label in Cardiff. But I think he did help us get the studio, and he knew Richard Jackson. And then I can't. There was like a Dub Collective or something that our manager at the time was affiliated with. I can't remember the name of them. I want to say Two Live Crew, but it wasn't. That's a hip hop. It was something like that. It was like I don't know. And their label was interested in us, and that didn't transpire either. So we ended up with the recordings. Then they never saw the light of day, and here we are putting them out.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Had you kept in touch with the other band members over the years?
Yeah. I mean, Nick Fowler, guitar player. Mark Childs, I've known since I was a child. Me and Mark were, best friends in school. Nick and Mark and I met through an advert in the NME or the Melody Maker, and now we're all firm friends, and we've been best of friends for since he joined the band, and all the ups and downs the band went through, and
sure. Well, let's get back into that then. So mid-90s, right? So you're in Wales, for a school band, is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, local band. Probably a bit before the mid-90s was when Mark and I were playing in the garage together, and my brother was singing. And
what was the band name? I like first band names.
First band name. Well, we had a few. I think we had I think the first band, we had a band called Scorched Earth.
Nice.
Which was sort of, I guess, loosely, dramatic metal. This was Maiden were big, and metal was big. So we had somebody draw us like a little metal mascot, like a kind of a
Eddie.
We didn't play a lot. We played a few heavy tunes, but we weren't really playing metal. But we had that name, and that. I think somebody made a poster for a local village hall gig with a sort of monster with a big sword on it. So that was Scorched Earth, and then we were called Bliff Peepin at one point, which my understanding, I think we played one gig as Bliff Peepin. Somebody had a video which you weren't allowed to watch, but it was getting passed around with all the boys, and it was one of the subtitles on a blue film.
Right. Okay.
I think it was Swedish. I think it might be Swedish for like keep something like that. But teenage boys. You asked, didn't you, Luke? You did ask.
I did indeed. So you said that.
They made a band name called. But more seriously, when we actually, weren't teenagers, we started to, seriously pursue music. We had a band called Gravity Hill then, I think, which was
that is more serious. Yeah.
Well, yeah. My sister moved to Australia, and there was a sort of a place you could go locally. You were driving uphill, but it felt like you were going down, or some sort of illusionary
sure
Gravity Hill. I like that's what we call it. So there's a trippy element to that.
So you said the band that was kind of like a metally sound. I mean, at school, were you a grunge kid or a Grebo or a metaler or what?
Well,
what were you?
School where we grew up, there was a lot of metal where we grew up in South Wales, and that was don't forget at that point there was actually metal was charting, wasn't it? There was like Maiden were in the top 10. They were probably selling, and AC/DC were again top 10, selling more than anyone else. I mean, as well as pop acts. So I think. At that point, lots of kids in school, that was a sort of the way to be underground this is post-punk and post-punk. So metal was the sort of the way to rebel for me as a 14-year-old. I mean, I liked the Jam when I was a kid, but when I was about eight or nine, I guess the Jam broke up maybe. And then when I went 13, 14, people were into Metallica. Second record, Master Puppets came out, and then the EPs, and that seemed to be the thing for the boys in the village to get into. Yeah, I mean, still playing all the old punk stuff as well. And then there was, people listening to like Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, and all the, the hard rock of the '70s and the proggy elements of hard rock.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you were then immersed at that time in what, obviously has transpired to be a phenomenal period of pop music in Britain at that time.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
80s pop was playing on the bus when you were going home, whether you liked it or not. And even if you didn't like it, you said you didn't like it, you pretty much turned out you did like it. You didn't really have a choice. It was so good. So much of it was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah. For example, what was?
Well, I don't know. You'd be on the bus on the way. I'm going, I can't stand the Eurythmics or Depeche Mode or Tears for Fears or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But of course.
But they were great. Yeah.
But they were so good, It was a teenage boy's rebellion against what was pop music.
The mainstream pop. Yeah, that's true.
It's really, really fucking good pop music, wasn't it?
Yeah.
At some point in your life, you had to go, actually, you know what? I really do like that Tears for Fears album more, because it's just so good.
Sure.
The competition amount,
great.
It's just endless great 80s synth pop bands, and so many.
Sure. So how do you make the leap from local school band playing in the village hall to a proper band?
Well, we got our heads together, decided to leave and go to a city, and we ended up going to Bristol. Local, our friend and manager in Monmouth, where we were all based, I think he had a Toyota Hiace, which was a sort of like a camper van, and he had a friend in Bristol, and I think he had a room in Bristol, or a couple of rooms in a house, and then we only did to get one more house for a couple of extra rooms, and we had a strong connection over there. In hindsight, it probably would have been better to go to Cardiff or even stay in Monmouth and just go to Newport. But we needed to get away from home, so it would have been perhaps better, given that there was a stronger rock scene in South Wales at that time, and punk rock scene, or hard rock scene, than there was in Bristol. But then, we went to Bristol not knowing that, and then we stayed there, and obviously lovely town. We made good friends there, and no regrets about our wonderful years I spent in Bristol. Just the fact that what came out of Bristol ultimately was sort of the sort of trip hop and that scene. Not to say there weren't punk bands in Bristol, but not the time we were there. Trip hop was alongside Britpop and rock, whereas like I say, there was a little bit of a hardcore punk rock scene in South Wales, which we may have benefited us more. I don't really know. Maybe not. But we ended up going to a place where there wasn't really much that many rock bands around. But we got in the van and went to live in Bristol. That was it. And then we started to play local pubs and clubs with my brother was singing, and a guy called Ben Smith on bass, Mark drums, and me on guitar. Just playing any gig we could get our hands on. Doing some covers, doing some originals, and then sort of stopped doing the pub gigs, moving into the club gigs, then ditched the covers, had some originals with that band, and then we're playing doing okay locally, and understanding more about what it was to do it. And then we started trying to get down to London with that band, and we had some sort of we had a few attempts of going down there. I think Gary Crowley was onto that band for a minute, and we went to London a few times. He interviewed us, I think, maybe. Lovely guy, Gary. Always a great supporter of independent music.
Sure.
He played us on his show, I think, and but it didn't happen. We've made a couple of demos, and we had a good run at it, but I guess we were just in that massive group of bands that drive to London on Friday afternoon, and they get told to gig, and then the A&R guy that told you to come down doesn't show up, and we did that about 3 times, and then I thought, oh fucking hell, this is the thing going on here. Somebody's taking us for a ride, and so we stopped doing that, and then I broke the band up. Bit disillusioned, wasn't sure what to do, needed a break, and then I put the band together. I think I wanted to sing, I'm not sure even how aware I was of that, honestly. I probably, I thought, yeah, probably need to sing my own words, and
Right. Mm.
I did that. Formed Crashland. Mark and I did some rehearsals with various bass players in Bristol. After my brother and Ben left it from the old band, me and Mark just started a duo, jamming in a room. Try to find another couple of bass players. Didn't really work out, and then we actually put an advert in the NME for Martin, who came along at that point.
Do you remember the wording of the advert?
Yeah, I think it was probably quite cocky. It was like solid songs. I mean, what was it? It was something like duo destined for label interest or destined for the big time, with amazing material required, but bass player immediately.
Right.
Something like that. It was a bit of a swagger in it.
Oh, you got to have ambition. Yeah,
that's it. So he probably sensed that. Came to audition and sensed the fact that me and Mark had already been close and weren't going to be dicked around by labels anymore. Joined, and then we refused to go to London then. Anytime we were asked, we wouldn't go. So we just filled a few clubs in we filled 3 or 4 clubs in Bristol once or twice a month or whatever. And then of course word gets out because small network of rock and roll promoters and labels are always in contact with those promoters. So again, I think Crowley was on to us early, Gary Crowley, and then I think there was couldn't remember the name of it. There's a bloke. Not much to point talking about it if I can't remember his name. Sorry, I can't remember your name. It was a guy from Oxford that came down. He was working for a London label, but they weren't really. They were a pretty tiny little label, but he was in on it early. And then we played for one of them. I think somebody in distribution in Bristol tipped off Mike Smith at EMI. So there's an amazing band in Bristol. And so once Mike Smith at EMI got the word, then a bunch of A&R started to come down to Bristol to see. I don't know if Mike Smith demoed us, but he passed on the demo that we made we drove up to London, did a demo. Was it EMI or whatever Mike Smith was working at the time? I think it was EMI. He passed, but a bunch of other people didn't. Was it? We had numerous labels after us, and we were lucky. It was a time when labels were throwing money at bands at that point. It was sort of just post Britpop or mid Britpop, and there was guitar bands making a lot of money, so it was worthwhile.
Were the labels like promising you all kinds of shit? Were they promising you impossible stuff?
Well, actually, but some of it was possible. It was a large sum of money, and that was, So there was that, and then there was all the other stuff. If one time, somebody came down with a bunch of vintage guitars in the back of his massive S500 Mercedes and said, "Look at my vintage guitars." I'm like, oh, okay, you can have all the drugs you want. Oh, that sounds all right. It was. We weren't like wild though. We were looking to see. I perhaps thought I knew a bit more than I did. So I was sort of torn between like doing an indie thing and like as opposed to like we had Dave Balfe interested in us from Colombia, and he signed Blur or whatever, and he was like, just come down,
Join to Independiente. They're kind of in the middle, right? They're kind of in between a major and an indie, I guess, right?
Yeah, the lukewarm water, I suppose.
no, like if you weren't sure which way to go, you kind of did the middle way, which is understandable, right?
Yeah, in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best idea, but
really, you should have gone indie, or you should have gone major and gone all
either one. I think would have been better. I mean, I don't know. Independiente were okay, to the point where Travis had a smash record with, I think it was The Man Who, and they just, the whole focus of the label went, understandably, with, Travis's album. They were already on the label, and the record was done before we were even demoing. And so, it was hard for us to kind of command the interest of the label. It showed us so much interest before that, and courted us for a long time. I just think, with hindsight, we probably took a bit too long to sign. We took too many people's We took the advice of too many people,
Mm.
and we're looking for that perfect fit.
Sure.
Where I think now, if I was to advise, someone in my position back then, I would say that the perfect fit is to get on with it, and not to worry too much. Just just
fucking do it.
strike all the irons hot, because you can wait around, but you don't realize when you're a young man. But things change really quickly, and you're only super hot, and you're only super. Even as a band, you only have a honeymoon period for so long before you want things to come out and to get done. You know what I mean? So we should have acted, I guess, but
sure. Well, speaking of fitting, I mean, where did you fit into the landscape of the UK music scene at the time, do you think? Because Britpop was kind of on the way out, right? People were picking up acoustic guitars. Yeah, the way like Travis, for example, making that kind of more softer kind of style. I mean, how did Crashland fit into that?
It's a good question. I remember there was a sort of a discussion, and I was always like, I don't, and people were saying, we're not quite sure, what you are. You're post-punky, you're not Britpop. And then people say, obviously you got grunge. There's some grunge elements to you, or at least more like sort of American punky elements to you, and new wave. Like people compare us to the Cars sometimes, and the Cars I love, but Cars never had the Cars were never a very big band in the UK at all. They didn't make a huge leap across the Atlantic. Probably more now than back then. And so, people saying, you sound a bit American, or you sound, So, I was not entirely sure where labels knew what to do with us, because we weren't Britpop. We had a bit of an American punk grunge side to us. There was also some really strong sort of British lyrical and melodic elements to us.
I was just about to say they had the melodies.
So there's a Beatlesy melody here or there, and then there's punky aggression. So I'm not quite sure where we I felt like I never needed to answer that. I got asked it a bunch of times. I mean, I'll answer it to you happily, but back then they go, we're not quite sure what to do. I'm like, well, don't fucking call me up then. I don't understand.
I mean,
want me to do your job for you, pay me the same money.
Sure. Which bands were you compared to, or kind of lumped together with, I guess?
Well, I mean, if you're talking more specifically of the time, locally or British, Idlewild were in the mix, because they had a sort of
I get that. Yeah,
intense. Let's say they had an intensity, about the punk intensity.
They did back then,
but they
the early days.
They had, which we didn't have, I don't think. But I mean, and Flat, they had a very Smithsy element to them, which we didn't have. I was happy to be, bundled in with them, and I thought they were a solid band, and they had, some good lyrics and some good songs, so that was fine. Who else? We did some tours. There was a band called JJ72. I think we did a couple of gigs with them.
Well, do you know, in the course of my research for this interview, I saw you. Compared to Weezer, Placebo, Stereophonics, Dodgy, Radiohead, Pixies, Supergrass, and The Jam all came up.
The Jam would probably be closer. Supergrass, yes, definitely. I think we had a three-piece, sort of explosive three-piece pop power, punky poppy thing about us. Yeah, nobody mentioned the Cars.
No, we didn't know. Not in the ones I saw. I was looking up.
No, that's fine. I mean, I never really
this is what came
the
up.
comparison. But who knows? Yeah. But I could see the Supergrass comparison. I could see that, and the Jam. I could see, obviously, both. Powerful three-piece punky band with a very, very, very British lyrical and melodic sensibility. Those two make the most sense to me.
Yeah. And you said, so touring, though, you toured with a load of bands, right? Tell us who, or at least played with or toured with. Yeah,
I think we did a bunch of dates with Muse. We did like a 3 or 4 date, a couple of dates with them. We did a bunch of dates with Queens of the Stone Age, which was fun.
Oh, wow.
They had Rated R just come out, so we did.
Oh, I love that record. I don't like anything else they ever did, but I love that record.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I like
Yeah.
bits and pieces, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm.
That's definitely my favorite record of theirs.
Yeah.
We played well, we did a tour. There was a tour like the best new bands in Britain tour.
Yeah.
And we were on the front cover. Coldplay was with that. There's a band called My Vitriol. The other band, Dutch girl singer, I can't remember the name of them.
I remember.
And then there was us, and they've shoved us all on the front cover. But we actually only played with. I can't remember what their fucking name was.
Is it Salad?
No, it wasn't.
No.
Don't win friends with Salad.
I've also I got Symposium, Top Loader, and Reef in my research. Is that true?
Yeah, we played with Symposium. Yeah, did a couple of shows with them.
Oh, I had them on the podcast. Lovely guys.
I feel like they had. I don't remember them that well. The manager. We flirted with him for a minute. He was going to manage us, and then he didn't. And yeah, they were London, weren't I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. They seem. I feel like. Well, they had a great following, and they had a very young, punky following. I'm not sure. We picked up any of their. We picked up probably a few of their fans. We had some good gigs with them. They had a good live thing going on. They had sort of.
I saw them in Bristol back around that time.
Yeah, they had the crowd going wild. They had a good live show for sure.
Yeah.
Who else did you mention? Reef. Well, Reef, we just got put on a tour with Reef. Weren't going to turn it down because obviously they were doing the TFI Friday theme tune or whatever, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, wasn't a big reefer, to be honest.
How about Top Loader? Have you got any tales of rock and roll on the road excess of throwing TVs out of hotel windows with?
Yeah, everything with Top Loader. Yeah, they were probably the wildest and most fun band we toured with. Seriously, lovely bunch of guys. Oh yeah, they're
Are they really nice? That's so disappointing. I can't make. We take the piss out of a lot.
When I say lovely bunch of guys, I mean they're a lovely bunch of guys, but I don't mean like they're super nice, a bunch of lovelies. They're like a fucking
rock and roll animals.
Rock and roll band, yeah. They're a fucking rock and roll band, mate. I'm telling you. Okay. And yeah, we had so many good times with them. Yeah, lovely.
Great.
So many great nights, like in the Columbia with Top Loader, just getting up to all kinds of stuff we shouldn't. Yeah, they were absolute riot.
I don't know whether to believe you or not here, man. I don't know.
No, I'm not. No, you can look into the whites of my eyes. I'm not being sarcastic. We actually got some, even though it was a slightly incongruous, coupling for the tour. I mean, we're obviously a bit more punky and pop. There was a pop element we both shared. It could be argued. Obviously, they're more top 40 and super. Accessible.
Sure.
We were, much more punky and a little bit more.
Did the Top Loader fans appreciate the Crashland?
Yeah, they were all right. Actually, Top Loader fans were all right. They seemed to appreciate us. But yeah, we had so many good nights with them. They're absolutely the wildest nights with. They're a bunch of
I love that
wild boys.
I love to hear.
What were there 5 in the band? Let's say 3 out of 5 were like wild. And like
they were on it.
4 out of 5 was semi-wild, and maybe that one guy wasn't so wild.
Sure.
But we had a good rock and roll time with Top Loader. Yeah, I mean there'd be nights. Well, there'd be nights like I think somebody couldn't find me in the venue, and I was out with Joe the singer, and they couldn't find us. So one of the buses had to wait behind the bus. Took the rest of us. Then we get in another bus. We'd have to catch them up. Or like I'd stayed over, went out to a party in Edinburgh one night and didn't come back. So somebody had to stay back in town. I was one of the Top Loader guys. We had to go and catch up with the bus the next day. All kinds of shenanigans. It was the bus. Somebody, screamed at us the next day. I was limping in at like 3 p.m. before the gig with one of the boys in their band, just fell off the tour bus type stuff. Yeah, that was that with them. Yeah,
that's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah, when you wouldn't think it, you never know, man.
No, there you go. Love to hear it. Like Crashland were kind of, a few other bands as well, but kind of seen as kind of ones to watch kind of thing by the Enemy and everyone. I mean, how was that when that kind of hype kind of started?
Yeah, I mean it's great, isn't it? Can't be bad, can it? You know, you're in competition with a bunch of bands you've always wanted to be. You know, have all that good press and all that interest, and if people come to see the show, you know, I think we deserved it and we warranted. We had a good live show. We had a lot of good songs. So yeah, it was nice to be in the group of you know, next band to watch or the ones to watch or next big thing for sure. Yeah, we had some solid reviews from various places. Enemy, Kerrang gave us single of the week. Enemy gave us this, that, and the other. We had a lot of good press. Yeah, I don't think anybody paid for it. I don't think there was any backhanders for the press we got. Well, I'm sure there wasn't. Independent, we were tight as a gnat's chuff, as to use the vernacular. Yeah, sure. I mean, you know, not to say they didn't give us an advance, but they were pretty frugal with their PDs and their tour equipment and their buses and everything. We travel around the UK in a pretty small van for many years, having signed quite a big deal. So yeah, I think most, you know, I think we were. It was all legit. The irony is, you know, the week the record came out, I think I got interviewed by a journalist, Enemy. I think he was sort of. I don't know, temping, or I don't know if he was like one of the regular journalists that wrote editorial stuff every week. And for some reason, I think he had it in for me. They wanted me to speak on them, or we part of the Welsh band thing, which had moved on a little bit by then and had become the Gorkies and Super Furries and Catatonia, and you know, there was a little bit of a Cardiff scene at the Back, and I mean, we played it, but we weren't part of that scene. And he was sort of, I get the impression he was attempting to get me to fly the flag for that scene, which, you know, it's a sort of, I don't know, it's like trying at the time, it's like trying to get the average white band to speak on, I don't know, Jack Bruce being in Cream or something, or asking like Primal Scream what they thought about Wet, Wet, Wet. Not to say that the Welsh scene was wet, 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 but this just wasn't any common ground, you know. It's just sort of really a cheap way to envelope us all together nationally, you know. And national. Well, I didn't really feel doing it, given that we'd been associated with other bands, and you know, we were, you know, ostensibly from Bristol as a band. So I didn't say a lot about it, and I think he sort of took offense, and then he gave me a sort of tepid review as the week the album came out, which disappointed the label. Yeah, I think he's quite a famous. Well, I think he's a big TV journalist now. I think he's you know, if you want to know what the best episode of EastEnders is or something, I think he's a man. Stephen Dalton, I think is his name. Yeah.
I remember the name. I
think he writes. Yeah, I think if you want to know where to get the best burrito in the West End when you're going to watch like ABBA, Dalton's your man. Yeah. I mean, he's erstwhile. He's definitely found himself a niche. I'm sure he's eaten more burritos than me. But there he is. Yeah, he's a hell of a TV journalist, I think.
There you go. Oh well, and one of the other bands that were ones to watch at the same time, pretty much exactly the same time, is Coldplay, right? When they like really fucking went off stratospheric, were you thinking like, oh man, that could have been us, or that should have been us? I mean, you did pretty well, but you weren't Coldplay, you know.
No, I don't know how well we did. I mean, everybody's measurements are different. And if you in terms of record sales and you know, longevity and making the label money and buying ourselves yachts and supermodels shoes, we didn't do very well at all, Luke. But that's all right. I'm not sure.
But it's the friends you made along the way.
Yeah, I mean, I did well in many ways. Yeah, I think we all did it well, and you know, we've all lived to tell the tale, and what a great tale it was. But yes, in terms of objective.
So watching Coldplay kind of like zoom up, was it surprising, and did it feel like
well, yeah, No, I don't think it's. I don't know. It was a good record. You couldn't argue with it. Parachutes. It wasn't really where we were at, but it was a good
I
record.
can't fucking stand Coldplay, but yeah.
I don't play it, but you
I mean,
can understand.
objectively, they're well written songs, I guess. But
Well, they're big poppy songs that are very popular. They're popular, aren't they? You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really compare. I never really compared myself much to them. They did come. We did share that same newspaper article. We never played with them. I met them we played before them at Glastonbury in 2000. They came on the stage after us. I think we said some polite hellos and goodbyes after that. They were okay. And then I think at one point we played a gig at Cardiff Uni and they played, to quote Spinal Tap, I think they played the Enormo Dome in Cardiff.
Sure.
And so we met them in the Eiffel back. And I remember chatting away to the drummer. He seems like a nice guy. And Chris Martin always seemed nice, but yeah, there isn't that. You are right about something. They did seem to be, they stole our thunder. We're very different bands. I don't feel like that.
Sure,
I'll tell you this.
Sure.
I was when I came to the US and I was broke and I was sort of under the table looking for jobs and hustling, let's say. I went back to work in a restaurant, which a lot of musicians do. And I was working quite a nice restaurant in Santa Monica, and Chris Martin came in with Gwyneth Paltrow and her mother, and I was there in a white shirt and a black tie, opening wine and trying not to spill it on the white linen. And then he came in, and to his credit, he said, "Hey, what are you doing here?" He was absolutely baffled. I was like, "Oh, you work in a restaurant, mate. What's it fucking look like? Trying to find fame and fortune. You want to give me a support gig?" I didn't ask him that. I was too proud, I guess. But he was all right, But that was it. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird, could have gone either way, I suppose. But I think ultimately went with the band who had all the big pop hooks, not with the band who were,
Sure.
the sort of punkier element. But
I guess. That's great. All right, getting on to the album. So the album Glued. How was it kind of putting all that together and recording it and everything?
Yeah. Well, Glued wasn't. It was easy when we did it in the end. It was done in a short period of time, and I think that's what one of its strengths is. I think the strength is there's a lot of good songs on it, and the other strength is I think it sounds concise and it sounds sort of like a one piece because it was recorded in a short period of time and the band were all on fire. But getting to that point was quite a long road. We had a good demo, which is one of the reasons the label signed us. But I suppose back to your point of like what we were as a band. We had a song called "Waiting for Someone," which people used to compare to like first 3 or 4 record Bowie ballad, and then we had other songs like "Standard Love Affair," which was compared to post-punk bands or punk bands, and then we had a song called "Glued," which was like had a grunge element to it. So because of those issues, maybe, or those, I never thought there was a massive problem, given there's only 3 people making the music. But we saw quite a few producers and we had a few false starts with various producers. There was a guy called Phil Vine who just made is it Pure Morning, the Placebo song, which I like. It was a great tune and a great production. And he came, we went off to a studio with him, and he was very hands-on, but wanted us to change everything. Didn't work out. And then we went off with somebody who was producing the Stereophonics. And then there was sort of people the label wanted us to go with. So there was called Chris Kimsey, who I think engineered a bunch of big Stones records and then produced 1 or 2 of the bigger Stones records in the 80s and 90s. But I think he'd lined up the amps on like Sticky Fingers or something. So obviously we were like, yeah, he's fine. I got no problem with it. So, and the label facilitated the meeting, and we said, yeah, we get on with him. He's great, and he wanted to make the record with us. And then the label went, oh no, but he's not this week's hot producer. And is he too old? Because he's made it like, that was how mad they were. That's how much coke they were doing. Like, it's this guy, all he's done is made a fucking Stones record. They're like, fucking hell, you know what I mean? Is he of the zeitgeist? Well, it doesn't really matter. He sort of made, he made the whole industry. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, if he hasn't made if he hasn't made a Blur record, then we can't use him. There was a lot of that coming out of the label. We're like, well, it's fucking Chris Kimsey. And the same, we expressed an interest in John Leckie, another sort of legendary T-boy, T-pop, old school English producer coming up in the correct way, the only way they ever did come up, really. Leckie having engineered Beatles records, and then done a bunch of different records, made the Stone Roses record, so we still thought it was kind of hot. Didn't want to get him involved, so it was just in the end it was, I don't know, I think we were definitely thrown into the maze of egos in terms of labels at that point. We weren't really that in charge of that. I mean,
wow. So how happy were you with the final result?
Yeah, I mean, final result, super happy with it. We eventually, Paul Tippler came along, and I think he satisfied the fact that he was young and upcoming, and he did a bunch of sort of cool underground punky bands. He just did Idlewild. I think he did some Placebo stuff. And, he was quite straightforward and matter of fact, and definitely the band was into him for those reasons, and obviously the quality of his work. And then the label, I'm not quite sure what was going on. I think maybe the A&R guy finally gone into rehab, or was finally sort of not being massively erratic about who wanted to produce us this week's to the next. So we managed to get them to pack us off to a studio in Lincolnshire and make the record. So yeah, we were happy with it in the end. Yeah, I think it's a great moment in time, and I think Paul captured that really well.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
There was some label dabbling, I think, when the record was finished and delivered. Aforementioned sort of indecisive A&R guys got involved. A&R guy got involved and said, "Oh well, because Paul's made it, we need to, So that it was the whole like, who's the hot mixer there?" Yeah, we were like, just go and get Bob Clearmountain, and he's a hot mixer, isn't he? He's mixed fucking last two Nirvana records and every other massive record ever. Well, have him do it. If that's if that's what you really want, and they're like, no, let's not go that far. We're like, oh, we'll get Mike Hedges to do it. He's done fucking the Man X and he made it as well. Can he do it? Oh no. When we say remix, we didn't mean like it's just like call it nonsense. So then they went with this guy called Al Clay, and I think he was. I think he might have been involved with Reef. He might have been the reason we got the Reef gig, I think. So I think he'd made and mixed for whatever reason. They used some trendy remixer to remix it, and it sounds great. So he did a great job, but it seemed like another unnecessary 6-week step to not get the record out just because they had somebody probably owed him a favor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember signed the contract that like we were like negotiating this most stupid thing, like if you sell over 21,000 records in the Pacific Rim, then you trigger the second clause, which means the label will press the next 5,000 vinyl at the cost price of this, but in actual fact the sale price would be this because of the clause in the previous record that which triggers this. Man. It's just that, and so I don't know, it's that kind of shit,
Yeah, God. Got the picture of the car on the cover. Our mutual friend Catherine, she told me that they the promo company had a plan to kind of smash up a Mini outside the Bristol University Student Union, but they weren't allowed to in the end. I mean, how much did you get involved with that kind of shenanigans?
Well, the I mean, there was a time when there was so much money flying around at labels, and even though they professed to be independent, anytime that we spoke up about our press or design or whatever, they already had an in-house designer who was just trying to justify his massive fucking Audi in the parking lot, and
Sure,
it's the same with so. Yeah, you sort of go in and go, well, I've just etched out this Stonehenge on a piece of paper. We'd like this. And they go, no, we've got this designer that we've paid. We're paying this huge salary to. But so yeah, I mean, we'd be involved. I mean, probably too, but it was just it was kind of pointless. They'd involve us in these art meetings, or they'd involve you in these press meetings, and I mean, you could blame management. We were a bit young and naive, I don't blame myself. I blame myself for my share of it, but I don't blame myself for sitting in an art meeting and chirping up about what I like. And then they'd probably entertain that for longer than they should, and then it would just come back to the fucking thing that they wanted to do in the end anyway.
Yes,
just like a nonsense democracy. When in actual fact, one guy was going to. It's just, I don't know. It was just going through the motions to appease us or whatever politically.
Sure.
I didn't really have that much power in that front anyway. Is that right? Catherine was involved, and she's still involved. She's great. She's always been a massive supporter of the band. I think she's working for the bigger Sony thing at the time, and so I'm not sure where we smashed the car up. I know we didn't do it outside the university.
Yeah, that's cool.
We ended up going to some like second-hand car place in East London. I think smashing it up there. I think. But I remember we had to wait because I mean, it obviously had a Clockwork Orange theme to it. We were in white jumpsuits, and there was a Kubrick element to it, and then there was the sort of Crashland with a smashed Mini, and there's some real tangible great stuff there.
That's cool.
And I do remember we had to wait because I think they wanted the chrome hammerheads on the sledgehammers, which I have no qualms with. I quite like the idea, but they didn't come back chrome. They came back like I don't know what they came back with, but it wasn't. It was probably it was matte or something. So they rescheduled the video shoot because I just love to on the phone call. Yeah, hold the shoe, but you can't do it. The chrome the hammerheads aren't chrome or whatever.
That is mental rock star shit, man. That's insane.
Yeah, but that's there's lots of that going on. Yeah, not mostly not bands involved. It was more about labels.
Yeah,
it's that it's like that great John Niven book, Kill Your Friends. Niven, who was actually A&R at Independent, although not our A&R guy. And then he left. I think he left and then signed Mogwai, and he said a bunch of mega cool acts over the years. And then
don't know that book.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a pretty well-known author now, John. And yeah, definitely. So he wrote this sort of defining novel on 90s record label cocaine.
Oh, I'll definitely read that.
From Executive. You have to read it. I think there's a chapter in it that sort of seems like it might have been about my life, about like a band getting plucked out of obscurity, having wined and dined, having money thrown at them, and then just like a year and a half later, they find themselves kicked off the label, not standing in the platform from the in the hometown. Right. What the fuck happened? It was the big. He puts it much more poetically than that. Look, I would definitely recommend it to you and all your readers. I think it was made into a feature film. I'm sure John wasn't involved in the casting. I think the main protagonist in it, which might have been which was my A&R guy, was played by James Corden, which probably explains why the film didn't do very well.
Oh wow! I've never heard of it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what happened because the book's is a page turner, absolute fucking laugh a minute as well. It's
great.
Yeah, comic and tragic, and just
sure. So I mean, why did you get dropped? You had the tunes. You looked great. You were playing the game basically. I mean, what happened?
I'm not sure. I don't know numbers. I guess somebody crunched the numbers.
Basically.
I mean, these weren't the days where, as the Cure or U2, you could make a bunch of early singles and records and not really sound like anything until you met a fantastic producer. We had sort of one crack at it, which was Glued, and which I think actually should have done the job. We didn't sell. I mean, suppose you could argue we didn't sell enough records. If you're just strictly looking at numbers, which by maybe labels were by that point,
sure,
there was probably a reluctance to reinvest, and it was more of a quick, with dance music turning a buck so quickly, and DJs turning money so quickly, and not very, and just the turnover of the work. You could as much. You could put a bunch of. I don't sound like an old fart, but you can turn an EDM record or electronic dance music record much quicker than you can. You can make one a lot quicker. You can pay out. You could list the samples and get it out there a lot quicker. So I guess there was a lot of quick return in that, and then I suppose with Napster being on the horizon, streaming coming through, I suppose there may have been some cold feet about how much investment labels were throwing into bands. Not sure. We're talking about the embers of Britpop at the time. Glued was a little bit delayed. Were there new things going on? Well, yeah, Coldplay was sort of, and that whole acoustic thing was coming along. There was that
Strokes
band,
just around the corner, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, I think they were I like the Strokes a lot, but there was like, as you mentioned, Coldplay. There was also, what was that band that were Star Sailor? There was a taste for Embrace. There was a taste for the Northern Ballad and the
Turin Breaks.
Turin Breaks, and I don't remember them that well. I'm not sure Keen were different. Like,
they were definitely part of that. Yeah,
were they? So I think then that was them, and I don't know if we had any of those big.
No, you definitely didn't fit in for that. With that,
we don't have any father-daughter wedding dances on our album.
Exactly.
So, note to self.
Yeah, it's what you need to write next.
That's what you need.
So it's all over. You said you tried again. It didn't.
However,
work out.
To talk about your point, the Strokes. They weren't. The Strokes just were like an amazing breath of fresh air from New York, like so many great bands you have taken.
Me too. Loved it. Yeah,
you loved it, and then they came out and they had all that distortion on the recording, and they were very simple and like amazing songs. And actually, we were lucky enough to play a few dates with them in Crashland Mark II, which was
oh wow,
right around the time when we cut the famous 5 EP. I think we just come back from Amsterdam, and we played 2 or 3 dates with the Strokes, God knows how, but we had such a great time with them. I think the drummer had a broken arm. They had another drummer, so we were just standing in the audience watching the band with the drummer who wanted to be on stage, telling him how great they were. It must have been mixed feelings, but yeah, sorry to cut you off,
amazing.
but that was they were fantastic, and they were just they were so refreshing. I suppose like. In much the same way that punk was to the indulgences of bad British prog. I have my soft spot for it. Then I'm sure the Strokes came along and like dusted away some of the the embarrassing endless the Northern balladeering a la Grace. You know what I mean? It's like
and looked cool as fuck doing it. Yeah,
didn't they? Yeah. So
you said you had the Mark II and it was finally over, and you're in LA. So what did Alex do next? That's the next part of the story.
I made a sort of a foray into. I suppose I don't know. I don't know. It was really. I suppose I was chasing. I was a bit knocked off, a bit annoyed that I didn't get a better run with Crashland. It was tough. We came close, Glue. We came close with Mark 1. Mark 2 came really close. We came over and played for Ecstasy Records. We came over and they offered us a deal. And we had a number of other big labels looking at us, and we were hot. We had some big showcases in LA and New York in the space of about 10 days. And so we ended up getting a deal offered to us by Ecstasy, which was an indie label owned by Madonna, or at least she was involved in the figurehead, but it was backed by Fujifilm, Japanese, mega film company. And agreed a long form contract, and I came over to sign the contract, being flown over. And as I walked into the label one day, the A&R girl that had courted us was crying. I went back to meet a sort of standard US label head honcho. And he's like, "Hey, man, so sorry. Yeah, really love your stuff. You're a really awesome guy. And we can't wait to get, you're sure to hear from me within 2 weeks. And, you're one of the best songwriters I've ever heard. But here and now today, the Fujifilm have withdrawn the backing from the company. Ecstasy Records is going to close and we can't sign the deal."
Oh,
fucking hell. Yeah. And
there you go. Simple as that.
I'd already shown the boys the house that they'd agreed that we were going to live in LA. They'd all been to LA. It was a bit tough. And I was thinking, well, why the fuck did you fly me over to tell me that?
Yeah.
It's just again, just a meaningless. I suppose you could argue they wanted to be respectful, but I'd rather have a phone call in Bristol at the time than flown over with a fresh Parker pen in my fucking lapel to sign a deal, take us all out of the doldrums and poverty, which is where Mark II were at that point, So that was very depressing. At that point, I think we were all done. Well, at least Crashland was done, and everybody had agreed. I said, "Oh, I'm going to fucking go back to LA. Does anybody want to come?" And Nick said, "Yeah, I want to come. Better believe it." So he came over. Me and Nick lived in a underground studio apartment for a few months in Santa Monica, which sounds a lot worse than it was. It was, it was pretty fantastic, and as through the result of one of the guys that got us involved with all these US labels, a guy called Joe Berman, who was a radio plugger, which is quite a sort of interesting and important element of the American music business, much more than in the UK,
sure,
because radio and it's such a huge, vast place and such saturated radio that
syndicated, isn't it? Yeah.
So they need these people to go out and find good bands and make relationships with DJs, and it's genuine. They don't, it's not payola. This is a radio guy going around. You want to play this band? I think they're really good. And this relationship is being formed. You know what I mean? And so Joe did a great job and brought us back over, and with all his connections and everybody he knew, we did some demos, Nick and I, with some there was a guy called somebody McCarroll. Was it McCarroll? He used to be the drummer for a band called the Greys. They were like
I thought he was going to say from Oasis, Tony McCarroll.
No, it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't Dan. I think it might be McCarroll. Anyway, he played drums for the Greys, who were I guess they were a sort of well-respected LA band that never were as big as they should have been. Muso band, and he was working at I think he signed Taylor Swift or something in the end. He's now like CEO of EMI, or if you will.
Right.
Anyway, no, I'm serious. Anyway, he played drums for the Greys, and we showcased and demoed for him. Nick and I had a good crack at it over here. I played with did a bunch of demos, but it again didn't really happen. So then I was a bit lost at the time. I did some demos with a guy called Linus of Hollywood. He was
I know
amazing.
That name. I don't know why I know it though. I know the name.
Well, it's because it's memorable, isn't it? It's he well, Snoopy and Hollywood put together. Linus was cool. He sort of agreed to do a bunch of records, a bunch of demos with me, and he's an amazing metal player and a great songwriter in his own right. He writes like amazing pop, and is also brilliant at metal. So it's kind of it's a very, very well-rounded musician and producer. That didn't come out for one reason or another. I think I didn't really have much of a voice on me at the time. I sort of was in a bit of a hole, wasn't doing my best. And I was chasing stuff, which is always going to smell. If you chase, because I was still chasing the fact that I didn't get so then I sort of went underground, and I wanted to go underground. I went under. I went through divorce, and just I don't know what I was doing. And then I sort of started playing guitar again. I mean, I was always playing around the house and everything. And one of my friends, Simon Petty, he had a similar story. He had a band called Minibar who got signed out of London by an American label. They were playing in a bar in London, as far as I know. They got picked up, flown to the US, made a record with T-Bone Burnett, got signed on a massive deal, made the record at the Village Studios in Santa Monica. Record never came out. Boys didn't know what the fuck had happened to them. They were like the pinnacle of they were sort of almost alt country, even though they were from London. Before their time a little bit in the alt country Ryan Adams vibe. Made a great record, didn't come out, whatever, I don't know, you can interview him. And then he was just playing around town, and I met him a couple of times drunk from the other side watching him play. And I think he was thought, oh god, is this Welsh fucking twat who's going to ask me to sing? And one day I think he relented because he got drunk, and he's like, oh, come and sing then. So I sang, and he's like, oh, fucking hell, you can sing. I'm like, oh, sometimes. So I started playing a few bar gigs with Simon, and then that got me back into just doing it for the love of it, I suppose, rather than trying to chase anything else. I thought, I can just play this because I enjoy it. Even though a lot of it was covers and whatever, we'd always stick originals in there. And then on the back of that, I thought, I'm going to write another record. And then I wrote the record that I had in me that time, which was the record called Last Chance for Romance. And I made that with a Los Angeles producer called Evan Beagle, and some pretty cool session musicians, which was not really my style. But when you're on your own and you're sort of trying to get something done in a period of time, it didn't really have the time to go out and get a band tight on the road, and I didn't have the time to investigate people playing, and it's just I was a bit older, and I just couldn't get the commitment out of players without having a touring band or without having a label. It's very difficult to get great players to come and ally themselves with you and commit to a record. You know what I mean? Hence session musicians.
Sure.
So I got some good deals off some good session players, and made Last Chance for Romance with Evan Beagle and.
It's much more of a kind of a rockier sound, right? I had
it's
more of a straight ahead rock and roll sound, basically.
Rock and roll, classic rock kind of thing. Yeah, I suppose. There's definitely a bit of a change up at that point in my life.
Yeah, that's great.
I think there's some strong tunes on that.
I had a quick listen through. Sounded good to me.
Probably not right up your alley, but you're a punk rocker.
I'm a bit more into the underground stuff, but
that's all right.
Good, man.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, final question, because I've been keeping you a very long time, which
that's all right. It's because I ramble. It's because I ramble, and I don't know the date that my record's coming out. That's why I look. Don't blame yourself.
Brilliant. Well, basically, we ask every person we interview the same question, and the question is, which other band from the 90s would you have liked to have been in, and why?
Oof, and then night. I'm not definitely not going to say Coldplay, mate. You know that. The 90s. Oh. Maybe Supergrass would have been a fun ride, I think. I loved the sort of loose style that the drummer had. He had a bit of a Mitch Mitchell thing going on. Splashing around, but making you feel like it was messy, but it wasn't. Sort of enjoyed that. But they're that very melodic bass. I don't know. It was maybe that.
That's a great answer. Supergrass, they're a brilliant band.
Yeah, a good band. It's a good. Yeah, it could have been fun. But I saw them a bunch of times too, and the gigs were just fucking. They were just great, weren't they? And me and Mark, it was another. It was another great loose. Well, he's not. Mark's not loose. He's super tight, but he creates a riot within a very tight beat, which is not an easy thing to do. Yeah, well, we used to go and watch them at the Fleece, and every time we saw them, it was just a sweaty mess. It's like
Sure.
it was. So yeah, probably them because they were, which is in many ways what Crashland were too. Like a super loud little poppy 3-piece. So I guess
Sure.
I wanted to be in a band like that, which was kind of like the band I formed. So it's not in ultimately, I've come full circle in my answer. But there we go.
There we go. That's great. All right. I think as a band, they're not currently active. Do you have any social media presence or anything for Crashland if people are interested?
Yeah, I think there's a Troop with a Crashland page that used to be called Troop, so it's Crashland now with a new record coming out. And Twitter, is it a Crashland? Yeah, I think there's so Instagram, and there's no TikTok though. MySpace.
No. Oh god,
Does it matter? I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
I was talking to Nick, who joined the band later on, and he had a band called Charlie, who a similar story to Crashland, and so many of it. They were a very young Oxford band. They were had a deal and didn't happen. And I think he's done stuff, and one of the people he was playing with in one of the bands later on. I might have been he was doing a song with Peaches Geldof or something like that, and they had this mega viral moment. They had 20 million hits or something, and it just transpired to absolutely zero physical extra sales.
There you go.
What I mean? It's
there you go.
That's just it, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just how meaningless it all is. Yeah,
isn't that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, it might maybe if you got a skincare product or something, it might be different, but ultimately, oh god, I mean, the work as well that goes into it, the shameless self-aggrandizing fucking work to
for fuck all result
to create oneself as a creator. You know what I mean? Oh god, Oh yeah. On that note, Luke.
Yes. On that note, let's finish it there. I'm going to stop the
forever punk, my friend. Forever punk.
All right, Alex from Crashland. Nice guy, isn't he? Nice chat.
That was a good one, wasn't it? That was really good.
Yeah.
Really I enjoyed doing it. What did you think?
Really interesting. Yeah, really interesting.
Some stories.
Yeah, I liked it.
Good hair as well.
Good hair. Good bloke.
Why? Because it was a bit like yours.
Yeah, a bit longer.
Sure.
But yeah, really nice guy. Really nice chap. Really interesting life he sort of seems to have had.
Yeah.
Revolving around music. But I liked, you're talking about first names of bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Bands' first names.
Yeah.
Scorched Earth. How many bands do you reckon were called Scorched Earth?
Like metal bands. A lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
There's got to be a lot.
It's a good name though, isn't it?
It's good. It is good. Yeah. Dave, did you catch that Swedish phrase that he said as a band name?
Well, it's like two parts, something Pippa. And Pippa means
like lift Pippa or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the lift bit was.
Right.
But Pippa just means fuck or shag or bang.
Right.
So you don't want to call your daughter Pippa.
Oh,
They're ever going to have anything to do with Sweden.
Yeah.
Right. Gotcha.
Because it does sound exactly the same, I think, like that word.
Right. Yeah, I heard something about Sweden the other day. They eat pickled fish for breakfast.
No.
Yes, they
Possibly.
do. Yeah.
No, maybe it's like black pudding here. Occasionally, someone might have
Imagine
a little bit
that,
of it.
waking up to some pickled fish.
Not
That's
for
a good
me.
way to start the day, isn't it?
I could have it at 11, not at breakfast.
Right. Yeah, not
I don't
straight
like
off.
vinegar at breakfast, really.
No.
I don't want anything
I don't know.
pickled for breakfast.
I think
think people might have pickles over here for breakfast. It's not. Yeah,
Huh?
you would. You'd have some pickled
Yeah, it's
daikon
weird,
or
isn't it?
something
How
for
people,
breakfast. Yeah,
different people probably think that cereal's weird, don't they? Just dry.
of course they do.
Seeds.
It's a mad thing to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Weird, isn't it?
Is that what you have for your breakfast now? Cereal.
I don't. I have like I usually have like a bagel or something.
Oh, nice.
That's very cosmopolitan of you.
Some sort of like pastry usually. Brioche or something like that.
What the fuck? You're doing eating brioches. Who are you?
Roll, man. Is that a roll? So I'll start my day.
You think you know a guy? Fucking hell.
So, going on to early on we're talking about band names and stuff. He spoke about Gravity Hill, right? So I did a bit of research because I was intrigued. Do you want to know what Gravity Hill is?
Yeah, go on.
They like this. So I looked it up. It says Gravity Hill was a location where a downhill slope is perceived as an uphill slope, causing a car in neutral to appear to roll backward against gravity, all due to an optical illusion. The phenomenon happens because the surrounding landscape and the road itself are shaped in a way that tricks the eye, especially when the horizon is obscured. Your brain relies on visual cues to determine what's up and down, and deceptive angles of the surrounding landscape create a misleading perception of the road's true incline.
Wow, that's cool.
I'm insulted.
Yeah.
That you thought I'd be interested.
Fair enough.
You like shit like that, man. Don't you?
He spoiled it though. He read out. He was just reading out a long paragraph.
Yeah.
What did you say?
In your own words.
I
man.
don't know, do I?
Bring some
I don't
life
fucking
to
know
it,
what
like
Gravity
a teacher
Hill is,
does.
do I? Do I look like I know what a Gravity Hill is?
No.
No.
There you go. Well, I do now.
Yeah.
But, interesting. Like stuff like that. Optical illusions and shit. Good, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Back to Crashland.
Have you heard of the moon illusion?
Okay, not back to Crashland. Go on.
Go on, what is it?
You know how the moon looks bigger when it's just risen, doesn't it? It looks massive, doesn't it, on the horizon?
Yeah.
But then
Sure.
later on, when it's high in the sky, it looks small.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just a complete illusion.
It's just your eyes.
So if
It
you
looks
could
the
measure
same-
like
you're
the
saying
amount
it's the
of
same size.
if you
'Cause
measured
it's
it,
closer to the horizon, it looks bigger.
yeah, it looks bigger, but it just isn't. That's the moon illusion.
There you go. Luke, have you got any illusions you want to talk about before we get back to Crashland? Or
I've got Use Your Illusion 2.
Right, okay, it's a good album, better than one.
It's, good
I
album.
think.
It's the only one I know.
No,
about.
one's better.
I'll be
I
honest.
thought we'd
Okay,
settled
too.
that. I thought we'd settled it.
All right, that's the
Two,
next
innit?
wang. That's the next wang. Use Your Illusion 1 versus Use Your Illusion 2.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we should probably do it at some point. We haven't done a Guns N' Roses one.
No.
Did he say why he was in LA? He did, didn't he? He gave a lot better of an answer than you did when you were asked why you were in Tokyo, I thought.
Yeah.
Gave a bit of detail.
He
But
did.
having said
he did.
that,
Yeah.
why hasn't he got an accent?
Why would you?
22
Yeah.
years in America. Surely you'd
Yeah,
pick up an
I
accent.
went to my mate's 50th the other week, and he's lived in America for 20 years, and he hasn't got an accent either.
I haven't got a Japanese
Dunno.
accent, have I?
I
Sorry,
remember,
what'd you say? Can't understand you.
I remember my sister had a friend that went to America. He was probably there about 6 weeks, and he came back with an accent.
They went out there pursuing their musical dream, didn't they?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. And ended up staying there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to end up in Santa Monica at some point. That's where I've always wanted to end up.
Well, in your van.
Just in life, I've always
Why?
wanted to be in Santa Monica because of Lost Boys.
Maybe you'll
I've
spend
always
your
wanted.
200 or
I've always wanted to
300
be-
there.
I've always wanted to be a Lost Boy. So
You
Do
are
it,
a
man.
lost
there you
boy.
go.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. You are a bit.
But yeah, I think I will end up in Santa Monica at some point. I hope I'm not disappointed.
I think you might be.
I think you might be
I don't think
end
I
up
will.
in Hastings.
It's not the same. It's not the same.
I don't know.
It's our
getting better,
equivalent, isn't
Hastings,
it?
actually.
Yeah.
Hastings are all right these days. I will definitely. I've got to get there. I've got to
Head
make
there,
it
man.
there.
Get there.
Got to make it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we ended up in LA. I think they just sort of pursued musical interests and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was talking about like when they got signed and stuff, and unfortunately, they're putting their whole focus into Travis. Imagine putting your whole focus into. I mean, it worked, didn't it? The Man Who
It totally
was
worked.
massive, wasn't it?
It was huge.
Fucking
Those
hell.
fuckers sold some fucking CDs, man. Yeah.
That album, well, it must have come out in '99, right? I think it did. '99 it came out.
Yeah.
Biggest album of that year by far. It must have sold a shed load, that album.
What's your favourite Travis song?
Right to Reach You is a good song, I think.
It's just so dirgy, though.
Look
Isn't
at
it?
Luke's. You've probably got it in
Disdain.
that fucking collection behind you.
Certainly haven't.
Oh, it's a bit like
I tell you
Ed
why I
Sheeran
fucking
type
hate
stuff.
Travis.
What
If I
about
talked
Why
about
Does
this
It Always
before-
Rain on Me? What about Why Does It Always Rain on Me?
Have I ranted about
Is
this
it
before
because
about why I hate
I
him?
lied
It's
when I
shit.
was 17.
That's exactly because of that. And because you fucking wrote a song about under 16 girls, you fucking pedo freak. But the reason I fucking hate him is because...
Not me, I didn't.
You didn't, no. Travis did. I read an interview with him early on, and he said he doesn't listen to any music. He said he owns 10 CDs, and like Travis Healy. This is at the time when they come out. It says he owns
Fran
whatever,
Healy.
Fran
Travis
Healy,
Healy.
sorry. He owns whatever. You listen to 10 CDs, and he listens to the radio occasionally, but he doesn't really, listen to that much music. And I thought, you cunt. Why do you think? Why should people listen to you if you're not prepared to fucking listen to other people's music, man? And I thought, well, that's why you're shit. That's why you're shit, because you know nothing about what you're doing. And I've hated him ever since I read that interview.
You can't hate something just because they don't like music.
It's like being a fucking writer and not reading books. It's mental.
I remember when The Man Who came out, you couldn't shut up about it. You said it's the best thing you've ever heard. That album and that run of singles, it was just insanely popular.
It was
wasn't
big. It was big.
It was mental. Remember?
Yeah. I wanted to give a quick shout out to one more act on Independiente called Vitro. Do you remember them? They were like a big beat band. They had a fucking brilliant song called Orange, which I really loved at the time. I just wanted to say it.
Put it on the
so I can
playlist.
put it on the playlist. I don't think it's going to be there, but I'll try. Full on big beat fucking banger, man. Brilliant.
But that was just really bad timing on Crashland's part. That Travis were their sort of focus, right?
There you go. But you heard a lot of bands said that, right? But like Oasis killed Creation, right? A lot, because same thing. They did exactly the same thing with Oasis.
18-Wheeler were their 18-Wheeler were their big band at the time, weren't they, and stuff. Yeah.
So same
But the
thing,
music changed, didn't it? I mean, it changed so much. 99. Like,
yeah,
somehow, there's something similar between Travis, Coldplay.
Keen.
Well,
there's something
all the
similar
balladeers,
about them all.
wasn't it?
There is.
The
It's like fucking
balladeers killed
Starbucks
all
music,
that.
isn't it? It's fucking.
Yeah.
But I love Keen. I quite like
I
Coldplay.
know. We know.
I don't like
Keen
Travis.
were a bit later, sort of early 2000s.
You don't like Travis? That's a surprise. Okay.
No, I really don't. No.
Because it's too dirty.
Never liked the name either. That or annoyed me. And once the name annoys me, I can't really get past it.
I know that. I know you do like your names. You do value it. Yeah.
I really liked that late 90s scene. We've had like ultrasound on, but the post Britpop scene.
But ultrasound, that's
it was
something
really good.
out completely different, isn't it?
Ultrasound is completely different. It's true.
Whereas
So that whole
Coldplay,
time of music was
There was good stuff.
was
There
exciting.
was. Yeah.
but somehow Coldplay, Keen, Travis, that was like a continuance,
Yeah, it was.
but a
And they
bad
were
continuance of Britpop. But
they
ultrasound
killed
was
off
just
fucking
all the
something
good
different.
music to sell fucking mortgages to, man. It's fucking disgusting.
But it's because
there was some-
people like us who were listening to it, we got older and a bit more boring. And
I guess.
But I think there was a whole scene bubbling up there that kind of got killed off by the balladeers. Because there was
you might be right.
bands like Crashland, Garage Land. Do you remember them? They were really good.
Yeah. But
there
saying
was some
that,
really good
like
bands
saying that,
around.
Alex said they still got a shitload of money thrown at them. So
Yeah.
they were still chucking the money out. So
Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's just other bands sort of killing off your band. It must be really annoying.
Yeah.
but it's really interesting where you get a band like Crashland. I know it's opinion, but they didn't make it, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. That does seem like a bit of a travesty, doesn't it? It does.
Yeah.
yeah,
It does. And it's different. There's like underground bands, right, that are not ever going to make it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, exactly.
They had-
yeah.
things on the shelf behind
The
me, right?
stuff you
and they're
like.
not trying to. The stuff I like.
Yeah.
But Crashland is different because they should have been big. They had
they had
everything.
the
They took
music.
to yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
They had the music, the songs, and he's got a great
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had everything. It's just
Yeah.
bad.
And they were
wrong
actively
timing.
trying to
Bad
make it, and
timing.
it didn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah, just bad timing. That's all it. Bad timing and other shit bands that got pushed.
Yeah, like he said, they would get listening to like too many different people's advice and stuff, and it just everything it just never. Yeah,
That must be because, like you say, if you're in an underground band, you never really expect to make it big anyway, right? But if you're in a band that's what you want and that's what you should get, it must be really fucking frustrating.
yeah, and especially when you see your exact peers, you know, Coldplay, they're exactly the same level, basically.
I don't think I'd recover from that. I don't think I could recover.
You wouldn't, Neil. You wouldn't.
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. So I can't imagine. It must be hot. Imagine owning that album, that Glued.
Yeah,
Knowing you made that,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
And you
difficult.
put it
one.
alongside Parachutes, and it's
Sorry, I'm
probably
not
a better
trying to
album,
make Alex
right?
feel even worse than he does about it. But,
He seems at peace with himself, man. He's cool. He's
I
cool.
don't know. Yeah, that's a difficult one. But yeah, it spoke about like some really cool bands that they played. JJ72. I've been trying to get them on. They were brilliant, weren't they?
Oh, that would be
Really
cool.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. They sort of came. Another band. They just sort of came and went. Should have been bigger. They had a bit of success, didn't they? But they were really good.
It was funny with the top loader and how Luke
Yeah,
just
that's
couldn't
brilliant.
believe.
I love to hear it though.
Brilliant.
That's so good that they're rock and roll animals, man. That's brilliant.
I mean, maybe there is redemption here.
Sure.
Of course, there's
sure.
redemption.
Oh man,
I mean, yeah.
I think I'm coming round to him, man.
Then maybe there's a way back.
Yeah, it makes me like him. Hearing that,
Yeah.
it really does.
Yeah.
We should like them. They're
Wild
from down
Nights
our
Out with
way.
Top loader.
Yeah,
They are.
yeah. All right.
It's still shit though. But yeah.
I mean, the
that
music
is
shit.
stuff.
The music shit. But that's good to hear that they're cool guys, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. Also, like the story about the restaurant meeting with Chris Martin. So what are you
Imagine
doing?
it. That's so good.
Must be pretty gutting though.
Yeah, like that. That would be like a low point, wouldn't it?
I don't know,
Gotta
man.
It would for me. Maybe it's
For
not
me,
for
it would
Alex.
be. For me, it would be
Yeah.
that would be it.
Mhm.
You know,
No, I'd like that, man. I'd like it.
it's funny though. It's a good story.
It's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. You don't expect to see your whatever friend from back in the UK waiting tables in Santa Monica, right?
Oh, what are you up to?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm just millionaire, just sort of hanging
Yes.
out. I mean, but yeah,
My
it
actress
didn't quite
wife.
go the same way for us. We
Yeah,
But did he actually have to wait on him? That would have been even worse.
well, I guess he did.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe he did like they do in that. What's that film? Road Trip. You know, where the kid
remember
goes
it.
on about his he moans because he's put something on his French toast that he didn't want, so he takes it back out the back and puts it down his pants and stuff.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking hell! If you haven't seen
Is
that
that
scene, you haven't lived.
Is that the
What are you
film with the
talking
guy
about?
of American Pie in it?
Probably.
Stifler.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
He's in it. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
I
this
think
film.
I've seen that.
It's one of the best scenes ever made.
All right, I'm going to watch that. Oh, you know, all this whole
You don't
time in
even
the back of my
fucking
mind,
watch Star Wars.
I don't think I've seen Lost Boys. I've been thinking about it ever
You
since you
have.
mentioned it earlier.
Neil made us
I-
watch it.
Look, we've humoured you
I
on the
don't
Star
remember.
Wars thing, but we're not.
I'm never
we're
going to
not
watch Star
having
Wars.
that.
That's not going to happen. But I'm going
You
to
have
watch
watched.
both of those this week. Lost Boys
I'll
and
tell
Road
you
Trip.
what,
I'll
I
report back.
rewatched Lost Boys in recent years. It was really disappointing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it. I don't think I've actually seen it.
I'm sure you've
I'll watch
seen
it.
it.
I can't remember anything about
It's quite
it.
a ridiculous film, really, but I like it.
Don't
like
you remember
the-
the kids going in the comic store?
No,
Don't you remember that?
Yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. No, got no.
Corey
I don't
Haim
think I've
wears
seen it.
some ridiculous
Oh,
clothes. in it.
Haim
It's-
is in it. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Love
It's
the
got the two
Coreys.
Coreys in it. Yeah. It's got
Okay.
Fieldman as well. Fieldman and Hayne.
Feldman. Really? I didn't know that. Okay. I knew it had, what's his name?
Kiefer
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
Sutherland. That's the only thing I knew. Yeah.
It's got the guy out of Bill and Ted in it.
Who?
Guy out of Bill and Ted in it. Not obviously not
Not Keanu
the
Reeves.
other one. Not him.
Yeah, the other
the
one.
other one.
The other one. Oh, right.
He's one of the vampires.
Okay. They're vampires.
Brilliant. Yes.
I had actually forgotten it. I had actually forgotten that. I haven't seen it. I'm going to watch it this week.
Do it. Report back.
All right. Will do.
Yeah, the whole I can't say the name of the record label either. Independiente. Sounds like they're a bit too cool for school, weren't they? Or trying to be. Everything they did was like trying to be
trying to be like like they say that story about smashing up the Mini, which was sounded ridiculous, right? They didn't have the right hammer heads or something, so they wouldn't let them do it. That's just like the most nonsense fucking you can think of.
That album cover, by the way, is brilliant. I don't know why. It's just a smashed up Mini, but it just looks great.
It's cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just certain album covers just look cool, don't they? And that's one of them. It just looks cool. Even the album cover's brilliant. The whole thing's brilliant.
Yeah, it's great. People, if you're listening and you haven't heard Crashland, get to the playlist immediately and then and have a listen. I think you'll be surprised.
Yeah, pleasantly. Definitely. Is the new EP out? Yeah.
No, it's on Bandcamp and there's 2 tracks on. So there's one track which is unreleased one, the demo that was never released called Stay.
You said which one? You said
it's incredible.
Yeah,
it's really good. Yeah, it sounds like a #1 smash hit, man. It's incredible. There's another song that was released before from the Devoted EP, which again is just a really good hook laden like indie pop rock song basically.
Do you know what the Bandcamp? I looked on Bandcamp and I kept coming across a different Crashland.
Yeah, if you just type in, if you go to Bristol Archive Records, you'll find it.
Right.
It's called the Famous 5 Session.
I was just thinking that might be useful for people because I did have a look on Bandcamp and it was really hard to find.
All right. Bristol Archive Records on Bandcamp. Famous 5 Session by Crashland. 2 tracks up at the moment. Both of them are very, very good. So.
Oh yeah, because I forgot to say this. So when I had listened to them, I put down who I thought they kind of sounded like, and I had sort of bit of Stereophonics, bit of These Animal Men, Weezer, just a good mix of loads of good shit all in one package.
Yeah,
great, great stuff. Yeah, one of those bands, isn't it? Yeah, what should have been.
Should have been, not could have been. Should have been. That's a better way to put it. Yeah.
Should have beens. Yeah, there's not many should have beens, is there really?
Oh, there's a million, man. There's a million.
There's loads of should have beens, isn't there?
In your opinion, there might be.
In my opinion, I mean, there's more could have beens, but there's still a lot of should have beens.
We should do a should have beens episode. Oh, that'd be a good wang, wouldn't it? Should have beens.
Should have beens. Yeah, that is a good idea for a wang.
I think the should have beens. There's hardly any. You've got to keep it to a few to get those should have beens.
I would put Ultrasound as a should have been as well. I would.
But they were.
I mean, they were quite fresh.
But then Crashland, I think we're doing them a bit of a diss by saying should have been. They did have success. Like Crashland
they
was
did.
still...
No, but we're talking like should have been big.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah. All right, that's a good idea for a wang. We should get input from the Facebook group on that if we do it, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good one. All right, we're just doing a live brainstorm there.
Yeah, peek behind the curtain.
So that's it for this one. Thanks so much to Alex for coming on.
And thanks to Catherine for setting it up as well.
Thanks, Catherine, for setting it up. Thanks, Dave, for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Dave, just for being you, man.
Yeah, don't go
You're
changing.
welcome.
Thanks to our sponsors, Royal Whitby Events. Go and check their page out. Get along to one of those.
Yeah.
That CUD one's coming up, isn't it? It's next weekend, isn't it? So if you haven't got tickets, I don't know if there's tickets left, but go and have a look. If you are watching, then please do give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. Get involved in comments. Let us know what you think of Crashland. If you remember them, we went to see them live. Let us know your should have beens in the comments below as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And if you're listening, then please do rate and review. Share it with your friends. I know we say it every week, but please do keep sharing with your friends because it really is the best way for people to find our podcast.
If you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard. If you're into your 90s guitar music, you've found the perfect podcast for you. So yeah, have a look in our archives. We've got Ultrasound, we talked about earlier. We've also got Dodgy as well, who were mentioned in the interview. Yeah. And loads of other people who I'm sure that you love. So have a dig around there. And also I make a Spotify mixtape for every episode. So this week there'll be full of Crashland, should have been smash hits, as well as some other stuff that Alex chatted about in the interview, and I'll make a nice mixtape for that. So have a listen to that. And you can do so by going to Dave's new website thingy or giggly /stupid app. Give it a go.
There you go. So that's it from us for this week. Join us next week for episode 113 of the Stupid and Contagious podcast. Dave?
See you in a minute.